Those words were spoken about Luella Snyder when she was presented the Spirit Award for Community Service by the Winsboro-Franklin Chamber of Commerce in the year 2015. She received that honor during the last year of her life, an honor long overdue, and an honor well-deserved. Luella Snyder graciously supported the organizations she felt were important in Franklin Parish. Her generosity was unselfish, and there were never strings attached for this support. She wanted these local entities, such as a church, a veterans group, or a museum, to thrive because they were important to her, and she knew they were important to this community. And after years of that quiet support, she finally received the public recognition for what she so richly deserved. And she was humbled by it, all because she never wanted a fuss made over her. Luella's roots in Franklin Parish run deep. She was born and raised on the family farm in the Como community east of Winsboro. She and her brothers grew up during a simpler time, and they were all blessed with a great intellect. Yet they never lost sight of the value of hard work and the importance of education, values they learned in their childhood years on the farm in Como. Luella attended LSU during World War II, where her uncle, retired Brigadier General Campbell Hodges, served as the school president. Upon graduation, she attended Indiana University before moving on to Syracuse University in New York, where she was part of a group that created the audiovisual department at the school, which was a fledgling new field at the time, just after the war. From there, she traveled overseas to Europe and the Middle East. But eventually, the lure of home brought her back to Louisiana. She returned to Franklin Parish and her beloved Como, where she forged a new life and shared her love of education, history, and preservation with the community where she grew up. Though she was a seasoned and knowledgeable traveler, and certainly an educated scholar, she also loved her chickens and built them the finest chicken coop in Louisiana, and always made sure they were put up at the end of the day. And if a stray dog or cat, through some twist of fate, found themselves fortunate enough to be at her door, they were indeed one lucky creature. Luella immersed herself in her community in a variety of ways, and in March of 1970 was appointed to the Board of Control of the Franklin Parish Library. A year later, she was named president of that board, a position she would hold for the next 43 years. The local library flourished during her time as its president, and she worked closely with the other board members to establish the library's present location in downtown Winsboro, where it continued to enhance its services. In recent years, prior to Luella's death, the parish library expanded once again, this time with a new wing to embrace not only the history of the parish, but the families living here as well. The Genealogy and Local History Center didn't just happen by itself. It came about through Luella's quiet insistence, her gracious generosity, and her love of home. During her lifetime, she lovingly restored the old commissary on the family farm, as well as the Cordill house that her grandparents built in the mid-1850s, along with several other structures on the land her family owned. Luella's love of history and preservation had no bounds. She felt it was important that the effort must be made. Those structures stand today as a testament of her love of architecture and historic preservation and local history, and her family's history, because the Snyder family has deep roots in Franklin Parish. Luella Snyder never sought recognition for the things she did for her home. She moved quietly about behind the scenes to ensure that deserving local groups, be it a church, a veterans group, or a community group, received the financial help they needed to flourish, and there were many that benefited from her generosity. There are those among us who don't seek the limelight and just quietly go about doing the things that need doing, things that benefit this little piece of ground we call home, with nothing asked for in return. Luella Snyder left a mark on the landscape of Franklin Parish. Her quiet dignity and southern grace bless this parish with the gift of the Como Charitable Foundation, which will continue its work to benefit this parish and its people for years to come. She was indeed stealth in her actions, and under the radar was her favorite place. But now, going forward, Luella Snyder will be memorialized for her kind and generous heart.